The 15th Amendment by the Republican Congress and the Republican Party. Government control and reconstruction. The 15th Amendment was proposed in 1869, then officially ratified in 1870. It was a part of a series of amendments made in an effort for the reconstruction of the United States. The Reconstruction era, which was from 1856 through 1877, was a time period in U.S. history following the Civil War. The U.S. government attempted to rebuild the South, reintegrate the southern states into the Union, and establish civil rights for African Americans. Essentially, Republicans had control over the government and the new government in the South, where no Democratic representatives held titles in office. Reconstruction was meant to rebuild the U.S. and aid African Americans in their transition to the new U.S., one with no slavery. At the time, the humble Republican Party had majority in the House of Representatives and Congress. Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th president at the time, was also a Republican. The 15th Amendment. The 15th Amendment was a positive attempt at making serious change for the suffrage of African Americans all around the nation. Considering that African Americans would face discrimination by Southerners, Republicans attempted to protect them and their civil rights. The 15th Amendment prohibited states and any government from denying people the right to vote based on race, previous condition of servitude, and color. The amendment was short and only had 2 sections. Here they are. The Republican House, Congress, and Senate decided to sign this because it was part of a greater cause that our political party stands for: the civil equality of the people. We emancipated approximately 4 million enslaved African Americans with the 13th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment we came up with granted citizenship, protection, and due process to all of them. The 15th Amendment was one of the 3 musketeers of freedom we sought to institute for all Americans. The idea that the 15th Amendment was a sloppy attempt at expanding suffrage is absurdly wrong. Yes, we didn't include women, but that was merely due to the fact we were so preoccupied in looking for ways to solve other issues at the time. Did you know white supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan, the White League, Red Shirts, and the White Caps used violence, intimidation, and terror to prevent African Americans from voting at the time? These groups would attack and even regularly kill newly free blacks without any repercussions. Other methods of denying African Americans their right to vote were the grandfather clause and the literacy test. These used other means of identification to make sure free blacks couldn't vote. The grandfather clause, for example, wouldn't allow you to vote if your grandfather couldn't, which was the case for most free blacks at the time. In conclusion, before you seek to bash or discredit the 15th Amendment, think about whose values you're really discrediting. Are the voting rights of African Americans not important? Was Reconstruction all bad? And who really were the villains at this time? The Republican Party was merely in a tight situation where we had to act fast. And granted, we successfully secured the suffrage of millions and had to continue fighting to keep those rights. So on behalf of the Republican Party and Ulysses S. Grant, thank you, and we hope to keep all your support.